Hey guys, it's Sniper Ryu, and today I'm going to be going over Marksmanship Hunters in patch 6.2 for PvP. So first, let's start off with the talents. First we have Post Haste, Narrow Escape, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera. Now, all these talents in the first slot of level 15 are very good. Posting Haste is very good because it can get you out of routes, and it also gives you speed, which means you can run across and trap healers. Narrow Escape is very good against comps such as TSG, Turbo Cleave to help peel and just get you that separated distance. It's generally not very good versus caster comps, as you will not need to really put them into a position. It's also very good for trapping. If you're next to a healer, it will net them down and you can trap. It's kind of like a mass entanglement with boomies when you put it down and then solo beam them. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera is all very good. The reason why it's very good as of right now is if you have a minute off your deterrence, it can help against a lot of teams which have a lot of pressure, such as PHP, because they have the minute cooldown from the burst on the Paladin and obviously the Hunter. This means that you can basically almost have a deterrence for each burst they have phase, and it can actually help your healers a lot. I personally like Post Haste, and it's my favourite one, which is why I use it, but depending on the situation I will change. The next one, we have Binding Shot, Wyvern Sting, and your Pet Stun. You never want to take your Pet Stun in any circumstance. Okay. Next we have Binding Shot and Wyvern Sting. Binding Shot is basically something you want to be taking if you're facing something like a TSG, just so you can help peel for your healer when you're playing PHP. The main reason for this is, as of right now, priests are having a very hard time surviving against this, as the DK can silence them and then the warrior can stun out, and normally they will get globaled. Be careful for using this, as most comps as of a hunter right now tend to deal with stuns, such as Thug Cleave and Jungle Cleave. These are my two main comps, and also PHP with the stun as well, which you really don't want to be using. This is where you use Wyvern Sting. Wyvern Sting is really good when you trap the healer and then Wyvern a DPS, because it's a 3 vs 1 situation, and if you get 2 trinkets and you're say playing Thug, you can insta kill someone. Also, it's good if you're playing jungle, because then it's like stun on their incarnation, which is really effective. Next, you have the 30% heal, Iron Hawk, Spirit Bond. Never take the 30% heal in any circumstances. Spirit Bond. Spirit Bond is very good against comps such as WLS and genuinely any comp which has a Warlock in. This is because it helps heal for yourself. Helps heal yourself up, which means it kind of helps the healer relax a bit, as Warlocks are ridiculously overpowered right now. Next is Iron Hawk. Iron Hawk is stuff you want to be it's basically comps you want to be taking if you have a mage such as God Comp, RMD, and RMP. This is because Frost Nova, as right now, can crit up to 70 to 80k. And it's ridiculous. If you have Iron Hawk, it's 10% less damage, which means 7k off. Now, that doesn't seem a lot, but in the long run, that's 14k damage. And if you have 14k HP, generally that's 20. That's a lot. So yeah, that could be the difference between light and left, or you be able to get your deterrence out of your CC when you're in a stun or something. So it's really good. It also stops death and above damage, and it's generally really good. Okay. Next, you have Steady Focus, Dire Beast, and Thriller Hunt. Steady Focus, you do not want to use, really. I've tried it out, it's not very good. Twice in a row increases your focus. It's just not good. Dire Beast is something I like to take as a BM Hunter, as when you do your full burst rotation, it keeps helping so you can barrage kill command off your previous combo, so it means you can get off 3 kill commands. But generally, as a Marksmanship Hunter, you want to take Thrill of the Hunt. This just basically helps to give your focus regen up for your aim shots. It basically reduces the cost, which means you can get more aim shots off, which means more damage. Next we have Mode of Crows, Blink Strike, Stampede. For this, you genuinely do never really want to be taking Stampede, as the 5-minute cooldown and the damage is generally not worth, considering Mode of Crows is 1 minute and does pretty much the same damage in that time period. Blink Strike is something really cool. I tried this out. It's kind of a cool thing. It just does a thing, but does a really cool effect with your pet. It's really unique, but I do not like this talent, as you're not even going to be playing with a pet genuinely if you're playing Marksmanship, as you probably want to be taking Werewolf, but we'll get into that later. Mud of Crows is the best, as it macros in with your trinket perfectly as well, because it is 1 minute. Next we have Greatos, Power Shot, and Barrage. In this talent, you never want to take Barrage, as you do not get stacks up to 5 like you do in BM Hunter. Power Shot is genuinely the thing you want to be taking, because if you stand still, you get basically a mastery training. Now what this does is increases your damage by 60%. It basically increases your crit by 60% and increases your shot range by 60% if you're standing still. This is with your mastery. The more mastery you have, this will increase. The lower this increases. So if you're standing still and then you open with a power shot into a chimera with your birds and your trinket, it will do hella damage. Next one is Grove Toss. Genuinely, I like Grove Toss more for RBGs, as you know you can move around while using it. As Power Shot, you cannot now use it as you do not have the aspect of the Fox spell anymore, as Blizzard like to remove everything, every spell in this game right now. Yeah. Next we have your Ammo and Lone Wolf. Focusing shot you genuinely want to take, as it is more of a PvE talent, as you do not want to be standing still when you're doing PvP most of the time, unless you have to get that one cast off, such as Power Shot as a hunter. Lone Wolf. Now the argument between Lone Wolf and this is genuinely depending on how comfortable you feel. Now, I like taking Lone Wolf as a marksmanship hunter at low rating. The main reason for this is because you can actually just like one bang people and insta kill them, and it's hilarious and it's just really funny. It's also good against resto druid teams, as if you're playing thug and for some reason, like say the druid has to trinket your trap, otherwise the mage is gonna die or something, you can just insta swap him. Or the stun, next kidney for 6 seconds, he'll insta die with the power shot chimera, it'll be kill shot and it'll be game, it'll be GG because of the 30% damage buff you'll get. And it also gives you the ability to pick what pet talent you want as well. As you can see, you have all the buffs here. Now, why would you take the ammo? Ammo is really good, and also not really in Thug Cleave, because if you axe the rogue, he can use a thing which slows the target, but genuinely most of them won't be using that. And you also have concussive shot as well. But it slows the target a lot, you do a little bit more damage, but you get the advantage of having your pet sack and your master call ability. Master call is really good for getting your team out of roots, and it's also good if you're against comps such as freezing chicken cleave, as if your healer gets root beamed, you can actually use your master's call to get him out of the beam, so then it helps him with the CC, so he still keeps his trinket, which is really good. And it also helps you get sack, which means, you know, your target which you sack can no longer be critical hit, which is really overpowered. Next we're going to go on to the talents for Marksmanship Hunter. Okay, the talents for Marksmanship Hunter, you genuinely always have to take Explosive Trap, as this can be used to knock polys if you do not have your kick up. Now we can go into your Animal Bond, which basically increases your healing of your passive Spirit Bond, and also all your other healing done to you and your pet, which is also good against comps such as WLS and Turbo, as they're just dampening comps. Yeah. Okay. Next one I want to talk about is this. This basically means if you're playing with a feral and he playing, say, Incarnations, and then he rakes the healer for you to trap off, it won't break with the bleed effect, which is really useful. Next we have Liberation, basically just heals you 4% of your maximum health. We have Reflect as well. We have Mirror Blades, which basically means, I actually like doing this at a lower rating. It's just where you actually just deterrence and then it reflects the poly back, and it's just so funny, and you can do so many plays with it, and it's actually a lot of fun to do. It's also good if you're against shamans as well, because like they'll go to hex you and just go bam, and it'll hex them and you can actually kill them, and it's actually so good because if they trinket, it's like a free win. Mending is also a very good talent, is also a very good glyph to take. It's really good, as basically what this does is it heals your pet every second for an additional 25% of the duration. So as you can see, it does 25 over 10 seconds. And now it does that. It's really good. Okay, now we're going to be going over the Enchants, which you want to be taking for Marksmanship Hunter. As a Marksmanship Hunter, you genuinely want to be taking Mastery on your neck, your 2 rings, and your back. And you want to be taking the Helm Heart Seeker enchant for your weapon as well. This is because Mastery, as you can tell, increases your damage of this, so your openers are really strong and effective. And when you're smoothing. As a marksman, you genuinely want to be going for a kill pretty much every time you have rapid fire up. Rapid fire is a 2-minute cooldown, but every time you aim shot, it gets reduced by 5 seconds. So basically, this has gone from a 2-minute cooldown to either like a 1 minute or 1 minute 30, depending on how many aim shots you get off and depending on how lucky you get with Thrill of the Hunt. So it's kind of an RNG game, but that's genuinely whereabouts it's going to be. Okay, now we're going to be going into the rotation for Marksmanship Hunters in patch 6.2. Now I'm going to be showing you how to DPS as Marksmanship Hunter. I'm going to be using Lone Wolf over the ammo. This does not change the way you would open, as this is generally the best opener as you can do right now in patch 6.2 as a Marksmanship Hunter. I will not be using Gravitos, as Power Shot is the main thing you will be taking when it comes to 3 vs 3. Okay, now how to use your Sniper Training perk. Now what you want to be doing is when you move, you get a 5-second time to use this, but you cannot use your Power Shot while moving, as you can now see, because you do not have Aspect of the Fox. So you want to get into an angle where you've got into your kill target into the position. You want to pop your 1-shot macro, which is here, which is use your rapid fire, your trinket and murder of crows, into a power shot, into a chimera, into a kill shot. So it'd be like so, you're here, and your power shot, into a chimera, into an aim shot. And as you can see, that pretty much would put them into a kill shot range, or it would force a huge defensive. Now, when you're doing your rotation, you genuinely want to try and make sure you can always get your chimera shot off every time it's off cooldown. If you do not have this, marksmanship is just not going to be the thing for you, as it's more burst damage as of anything. Now, as you can see, every time. Now I'm going to be going on to the macros for Marksmanship Hunter. Now for macros, you've got your Master Call Arena 1, and you just change the name, Master Call Arena 2, Master Call Arena 3. This is, you just change the names, and then obviously it changes the target you want to be using on. Then you have your SAC, which is for me, SAC for 2 and SAC for 3. Then you have your Arcane Shot / pet attack. This is really good as it puts your pet on for you, but if you're running with Lone Wolf, obviously it won't do this, but it's just a very clever thing to do. Next you have your Stop Casting Disengage. This means if you're using your Steady Shot, it will stop the casting and you'll disengage. Then you have this for explosive traps, so say if you need to get that poly or your team's going to die, for example, you'll have your Steady Shot, and then it'll just stop the casting and it'll put the explosive trap down. Then you have this for Flare, so the Shadow Priest uses his Fade ability, then you can just flare him out, stop casting again if you're using Steady Shot. Then we have the same for Freezing Trap. Then we have your Arena 1, 2, and 3 macro. Then we have our / pet attack macro. Then we have our Stop Casting Deterrence. This is actually really helpful, and I would actually recommend using this if you don't use any of the macros. This basically means if you're using a cast, it'll deterrence you, and this is actually so helpful. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in any way, please don't forget to come and subscribe to my channel, Sniper EU. Peace and have a good one.